Homeowner's got a problem. Would like us to rate the roof and the attic. Let's take a look at this here. Here's what they say. Partial roof replacement in 2020. Vents were removed for 3 ridge vents. We bought 2 months ago and have water coming in. No bueno. Contractor expressed concerns over broken joists. Ridge vents on a 412 slope. I don't know why ridge vents on a 412 slope would be a problem. And the weight of shingles. I got these from the prior owners. I don't know why you did a tear off the weight of the shingles. Yeah, anyways, it's not like you're putting tile on there. Invoice was supposed to be down. Okay, the invoice said they were supposed to tear off the. Sorry for the writing here. Let me just try to clean this up. The invoice said the roof was supposed to be tore off down to the decking and replacement of needed plywood. None were replaced. Appears prior felt was laid over and not fully removed. Okay. Workmanship warranty. How can I address the beams, if at all? There are 4 cracked beams in a row right over our toddler's room. And yes, we had a full inspection. Whew. Okay. Let's take a look at the roof first. Let's see what we can see. So in order to do that, I need to be smaller. Nobody puts baby in the corner. Okay. So we're looking at the ridge vent here, across here. It doesn't look very straight, but then again, we could see some curvature in your roof. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, and that could be just due to structural of the house, okay? Same thing here. Look like malarkey, sienna blends. Yeah. I can't see your flashing over against the wall, so I can't tell you what kind of shape it's in. At first, I thought this was the eave, and I was wondering where your kick-out flashing was. But no, that must be the section of the roof that didn't get replaced, and you have like a mansard roof there, no problem. So we see here, again, I can't see any flashing, but at least they didn't leave sharp edges on your drip edge to cut through stuff, so that's nice. That looks like total dog doo-doo, and unless the picture's skewed, it looks like it's leaning. That's not great. They couldn't give you a new flashing on that. I don't know why that. I mean, that's just. Well, you know what it is. It's just a whole words that go behind that. Okay. You got a funny looking dip right up there in that. I don't know what that is. And again, it could just be structural because I could see waves in the roof there. Here, this looks pretty nice. We can see little dip in the roof. Some of this might be fisheye from the camera, but what is this? Did they not replace the flash? Why didn't they? This should have been cleaned up, and when this flashing went on there, it looks horrible. Here's that other one again. I mean, is that a hole? What is that? Is that like a dog's? Is that Gandhi's flip-flop sticking out of it or something? I don't know what's going on there. That doesn't. I mean, it's probably tar peeling away, but that's horrible. That should have been replaced. Yep. Oh, malarkey. Yeah, I was right. Boom. More malarkeys. And there's the old felt. Yeah, they probably just stripped off the shingles, left felt on. And because I can tell from looking at this picture, they probably had zero intention of pulling that felt off of there. Okay, I'd like to know where your leak is, and if we could get pictures of that area, we could probably help you with trying to figure out what's going on there. Again, I don't know what the deal is. I've seen plenty of houses with 412 roofs that have ridge vent on them, and it's not a problem. I mean, unless they're cutting it open like 8 inches and it's right to the edge of the vent, which you're not supposed to do. So I don't know why the contractor had a concern with ridge vent on a 412. So unless there's some context I'm missing, that makes no sense. Why even say that? Now let's talk about your beams, okay? Let's talk about those rafters or trusses, whichever one it is. I'm sure that there'll be a frame. Somebody will correct me and tell me which one it is. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, that doesn't look good. Looks like you probably had a wood shake roof at some point because you have the good old skip sheeting and they put plywood over it. So nice. Let's see if we got it. Yeah, that's no bueno. Okay, some people are going to tell you to get a structural engineer, which is not a bad idea. You can do some repairs on those. A couple years ago, I went up to Juneau, Alaska to fix the roof on my dad's house. Okay. He's a city building inspector, so we were able to have a little leeway, even though my dad's a by the book guy, and we still had another inspector come out and inspect everything we did. So, that being said, there are probably some people that look at what we did here and go, you can't do that. The framing inspector for the city signed off on it, so I don't know what to tell you. But let me show you what we did, because you're going to have to do something very similar to this. So Dad had a mobile home with an old PVC roof on it, and PVC was on top of metal. The metal had leaked at some point, which, anyways, you can see that we had problems. We ran into, and in fact, that gray you see up there, once we pulled the plywood off, the best thing to cover the house with, because we were doing it in September in Juneau, Alaska, and it rained almost every day, all day long, literally was working under a tarp some days, suspended above me so we could work. It was awesome. Hi, Dad. Okay, so we had problems. I mean, some of these, there was nothing left. And yeah, so we'd work, and then I would just pull the old roofing material back down over to cover it at night. This is above a window there, and that header, and I mean, it was gone. So somewhat worse than what you had to deal with. Now, saying that, let me just show you here. So when we got it open, so a lot of those tails that were missing, you're going to have to go the extra mile. You could see we built sisters, we put gang plates in them, and had to use structural screws. Make sure you use a structural screw. You do not want to just go buy the cheap gold screws. They will break. They will break. They will break. Structural screws or some Tico nails, something like that. Okay, somebody will correct me too that I probably said the wrong nails, but you can see we had to build these things, and they're on both sides of each one of those trusses that was completely gone. Here's the inside on some of the other ones that were cracked and broken. You have to do what's called sistering, and you'll need to build gussets for them. It's a process. And really what you're going to do is you're going to get, that looks like a 2x6 or a 2x8 in your house. Doesn't look like a 2x4 like we had in Dad's. You're going to want to put the matching board on each side of that all the way up. And then what you're going to do is you're going to want to use nails. Liquid nails. So your sister board and the new board, and then you have the bad board in the middle, and the new board on each side. You're going to use liquid nails up and down the whole thing to suck them together. You're going to clamp them together. Then you're going to use nails to nail it all together. Then your gusset plates. There's some good videos on YouTube on how to do this, okay? I would recommend you go watch one of those. So it's possible you can fix it yourself. Some people are going to say get a structural engineer. You may have, but you could also just possibly talk to your local building inspector, and they will tell you the process that you need to do in your local area. So it could be different from what I just told you, and you may want to just disregard everything I just said. That being said, as far as the roof goes, I mean, other than those flashings and the pipe flashings is not, I don't know, as far as I can tell, it looks all right. But your trusses or rafters, whichever one they are, again, somebody will correct me. There'll be a framer in here and tell me, you dummy, that's a rafter. And I don't know, because I'm just a roofer. We're basically hairless apes. We're lucky we can even speak. Where the trailer trash of the construction is. We're that low. So anyways, it can be fixed. It's possible it's something you can do yourself. You'll need to make some checking. You'll need to make some checks for your local area. See what you have to do. Sorry. Wish I could help you more. Need more pictures. Happy